The Adventure, written and performed by Richard Brabin. A quiet night, a night like so many others. The moon, she is neither full nor empty, but listens to the silence of the city's humming snore as the houses cling to one another like tipsy football fans. Down by the river, pebbles soundlessly erode by slippery, slipping current, turning to hourglass sand and vanishing joyously downstream. A cat would be found flattened the next morning, its entrails extrails, but for now it lovingly sleeps, nestled cosy under the warm rubber of a car tire. The streetlights fight the starlight as the strip lights fight the streetlight. The lonely steps of late-night workers ricochet off the awnings, and a fox licks cold-pressed orange juice from a bottle cap which will take 450 years to decompose. The drunks sway home as the environment remains primarily nitrogen, with playful splashes of argon, helium and neon. And in this world of screens and dreams, monsters and fireflies, light and darkness, infinity and blue recycling bins, a boy is born. He is number 8,127,380,442. He is made from water and stardust and carbon and a splash more water. He is made from the moon and the sun. He is made from the dead and the living. He is the child of both monkey and God. It will take him 283 days to say his first word, and that word will be gum. His heart will break many times, his favourite colour will be blue, and he'll die with as small a ripple as when he arrives. But for now, he'll move his foot, and wonder if he'll always feel this cold. A quiet night, a night like so many others. And to these tired scrubs he looks like every other babe they'd seen that day. The spoilt splendour of leg ache and routine, the forgotten awe of miracles. Just another fuzzy grey musk, 2 more lizard eyes, 10 more searching fingers, 1 more plaintive screech, 2 air balloon lungs, and a network of tangled vena cables. 1 more consciousness, plucked from the void, into this cluttered world. A baby that will be thought of for not a minute longer than the family stay in this everyman bed. The mother looks like shimmered glass, hopped up on gas and airs of warbled cries. She lives between exhaustion and elation, in this moment both divinely mammalian and earthly transcendent, in this moment both lonely and fulfilled. The father stands back and looks, and thinks about the way the nurses look at him, and thinks about what he should do, and thinks, and never does, so waits awkwardly for instruction. He doesn't know how to hold something. Nobody has taught him. As baby passes routinely the routine, Mummy stares up at the gypsum roof. She thinks about a moment in her youth when she is skipping. Daddy thinks of nothing but himself in that way that shyness mutates to self-obsession. And they both think, I can't do this, but not about the same thing. And then the baby, ribbon-cut, identity-tagged, solitude-assured, comes to meet his mum, this stranger that she knows so very well. He cries a little, blinks some more, and finally takes both breast and thumb in mouth together. The nurses whisper who will go on break. The doctor misses dozing warmness of his duvet wife. The midwife sucks in her guilty third biscuit tum. The daddy wishes he could cry and tries to feel a thing, and Mummy strokes gelled hair on baby's head and listens to the comfort of the benevolent beep. It's good to be alive, and it's good to be told you are alive. Finally, the son comes lazily swaggering into work, and like a fried egg, the mother is levered from the pan. The man who squashed the cat and never told a soul cries in his car and thinks about it for the rest of his life. Mercury is in retrograde. A factory near the quay begins spewing cold cans of beans into the slow growth of the third quarter. A swan protects its youth with hissed wing. A beer can is opened by a man who thinks he'll find something new inside, but never does. It has been a quiet night, a night like so many others. In the back of cautious creeping car, playful zebras barcode this boy into existence, blinding and cooling, flicking and snipping, the shadowed strobe of a morning, dawning sun. Light, dark, light, light, dark. Binary world, Morse world, light, light, dark, dark, light. The symbiosis of opposites, neither to be understood without their friend. Nothing, existence, nothing. The baby's house is identical to the other 68 houses on their street, doughy red brick, baked in the oven and shaped by industrial biscuit cutters. The gingerbread chimney that will know no smoke, tentacled wisteria wistfully strangulating plastic drainage. It is a house forged by utility, nouveau foundations reaching apologetically into riche, aged soil. All different lives the same, all similar lives so different. It is house number 8. This will become the baby's favourite number for the way its curved trackway can go on forever. But for now the baby doesn't understand numbers, words, time or space. The baby understands only light and dark. But even though this permanence of plasterboard is remarkable only in its humdrum, to baby these 4 walls are world, are life, the very atomised anatomy of existence. 20 billion universal galaxies all contained within this insulated space. And although the boy will remember not these early forms, they write their initials on his soul with pen of refracting light and crayoned shadow shapes. And to the boy, this dreaming world is happiness, these cuddled toys his friends, this blonde brown bob of hair and love his god, the dusty beams of light his constellations, the magnolia above his sprawling skies, his universe, his world. And so he lies and gargles up the ether, each discovery made with archaeologist eyes, pharaoh tomb eyes, eyes we discard when magic tricks become nothing more than sleight of hand. Strung out on sweet lactose, the boy can watch the shadows dance for days, the artefacts of life, or at least their sleeking silhouette selves. The way the curtains suddenly set sail, the wind chime of aluminium blinds, the creak of wood on hinges, the music of car beeps and fledgling cheeps, the warmth of milky blankets. But innocence is a punctured lung and hot air escapes, pricked by prickled conflict. A sad and shuffling playlist. This is a music too. Historic squabbles, squabbles of attrition, hissed words so much worse than shouts, spat words, slammed doors, slammed hearts, the shrill soprano of quipped, whipped remarks, the beefy baritone of quiet hate, the black tar of resentment. Adrenaline squabbles that leave mummy manic, dipping her babe in endless baptism. They diagnose each other with all the ists, the terminal waning waltz of people who no longer see one another. The baby stares at shadow and at light, and the baby knows the difference. White noise of gravel on pram wheel lulls baby into blinking sleep, slinking dream, reality buckling like a pretzel before springing back to life, as 2 worlds gently coexist. His mummy is nervous and so arrives early. She circles the library, leaving sled marks in the stony snow, and almost doesn't go in. She loves her baby so very much. She loves him like wet fear. She is floored by it. It is so beautiful and so awful to love something quite this much. And as timid palm pushes her into ink blot unknown, she wonders if she ever had a childhood. She did, but it was a world of things, of swings of toys, of knives and spoons, but rarely people. She feels like a mother, but perhaps not a mummy. She's afraid the others will see through her, but they never will. Perhaps there's actually nothing to see. This room is warm and tight, and both mum and babe are thawed by smiling, shimmering heat. To be part of something, to be a member, to grow oven glove hands, milk bottle fingers, learn the actions, learn the mantra, learn how a shy smile is still a smile nonetheless. And so she quickly learns to love this world, silliness surpassing stoicism, laughter drowning out the lonely, battery-powered people that charge as they chat, Sanskrit and oat lattes, mindful bourbons and crafty custard creams, giggled conversations about poo that make the world feel safe and taut. And she realises she is becoming a parody of herself and loves that too. They are all just parody, dancing. They know it, and it is funny to them. For claustrophobia impatiently kicks its heels at home. Too oft the house that is a home becomes a shrine to thee alone. And so this gilded space and place is joy. A world where people have no phones to not look up from. She will learn the songs, even if she has to stay up all night. She can see into the future and knows she needs this village. His daddy walks him round and round the park, round and round ever-decreasing circles of uncertainty, far too present, far too distracted. He loves locked doors the most, locked doors, confined spaces, quiet cubbyholes that restrict and bloom his freedom. The universe scares him, and so he makes it bite-sized. The boy looks hard at this silent defence against an army that will never charge and wonders why this perfect world of dancing shadows needs so much to be cowered from, winced through, lived in with such concentrated contortion. His translucent father is rarely here, but that only makes him far too here. But oh, he loves this baby too. But this just makes things all the worse. But he loves this baby so very much, in his way. And as scrawn becomes chub, ethereal eyes gain clarity, more friends, more things, all narrativized by most innocent auteur. The guilty hanging washing sentenced to dry, the locomotive kettle which never leaves the station, the Larry vacuum bitterly harvesting biscuit particles, the spinning vortex of disco dancing clothes, skyscraper worktops and megalith wardrobes, the padded carpets and cool wooden floors, the smell of radiating radiator heat. Everything is energy, and Newton's laws are just for dusty bores. But at the heart of all is the warmest thing of all, the snug glow that the furniture lavishly stretch their arms and legs in front of, the thing that gives this universe its gravitational pull, the dancing flickers of lost worlds and new worlds, and worlds that look so silly and so fun. Hope lives in this box. It tells no stories of squabbles nor quarrels, but of endless glee. The world a place where all exist, in snuggled parenthesis, of happy endings and happy beginnings, and often happy middles too. Empty calories, for our souls. The box becomes a lifelong friend, a friend that changes when he does. The best kind of friend. Then one day, when mummy shows her child to the mirror, the not-so-baby now thinks, oh, that's me. And from this moment on, the sentence of sentience is handed down, the dreamland gone, the ambient thoughts and life of quiet light and breeze, an already forgotten thing. The inverted dementia of childhood reaching latter stage, as if till now he was an invisible floating nymph, a lighthouse consciousness, a whispered soul concerned with nothing but osmosis of emotion. This will be the first of all his memories, a staunch image, a picture of a mother introducing a child to himself, a child looking back and back. And now the flinching, twitching man is gone. It began with drumming crescendo, long-distance shelling and an eerie, smoky silence. And then the noise. War face, war cry, fallen men, scorched soil craters too deep to climb from. Regretful words, bayonet words, fatal words, words denounced by Geneva Convention, and finally a Manhattan word to end all words forever. She had loved him as a solitude solution, but became loneliest when they were together. He loved her as a defence mechanism, a patchwork rug to block him from the world. But, more simply put, she has changed. He hasn't. A story as old as time itself. The mother, she takes solace in her gaggle of new giggling friends. The dad, he takes an extra shift at work, an extra drink at home, and pulls down the blinds to block the entropy out. But the boy, he toddles on, lost in a waking dream, seeing nothing but what is right in front. These hazy gold days are much too fast outrun, and so it's time to pervert the childish fantasies with fact. The world he delicately feels becomes the world he has to touch. School gates opening like books, spewing lifeless truth that contravene his beautiful, perfect hypotheses. The inanimate cease their friendly chatter. The severed floating nose is just a thumb. No matter how high you kick a football, it will never hit the moon. He doesn't struggle with the work or find it elementary, and so he sails so gently through, neither raising eyebrow nor trophy in all his time. Embalmed in the warm pocket of the middle lane, our boy, a slipstream snorkeler, a dorsal morsel, only coming up for air when quiet ghost sees clear coast. Understudy in school plays, also ran on sports days, 12th tallest, 14th shortest, sheepdog stare, thorn hedge hair. the nameless peer that peers from the annals of school annuals. The only time he ever raised a hand is when teacher rhetorically asks, "Can anyone feel the earth turning?" And to his biggest crime, he's kind. And poof, like that, he's gone. But he loves to watch the others play, the front row spit of melodrama, his platonic inner wall, inverted like a half moon, dipped rod with no bait. He sits and squints and thinks while fishing among the stars. For this boy, he lives so vividly inside his life, the longitude of thought, the latitude of dreams, the richness of our inner worlds, these islands that no outside boat can moor, tidal fears, pirate minds, seahorse souls, the archipelago of a collage dream. His schoolboy love is Flora May. He loves her heroically like a yearning duke. So gently he orbits her, so quietly he worships. A satellite, arm's length love, breathless and tongue-tied, love with no touching or talking, just love. He'll think of her whenever he can't sleep. He'll dream of her in such a way that makes him never wish to rise again. He will never know her, and so protect her as his stony sculptured archetype. The pedestal, the plinth, the podium, the pier. You're never more in love than when you're 8. The pureness makes it so. And he is happy, he is often joy, he loves this little existence, the spluttered chugging bus, his pencil case with woodcutter shavings all amongst its floor, swirling sinkhole leaves, wind farm daisies, helicopter seeds, dandelion paratroops, and the golden glow of buttercup under dimpled chin. The satisfied splash of rock and river, the beauty of a compassed circle, grubby-kneed mischief that educates the soul. He is childhood. The essence that the old stare mawkish at, smiles gulped in knotted, wishful throats, that splendid ven of sentience and ignorance, that place we dream to go, cynics exiled, skeptics forced to walk the plank, summer eves as long as novels, the place where thinking makes it so, the place where games are made from dreams, no dice, no playing board, no rules, just infinite minds in insolent worlds, where scrape and scratch are kissed away and all scars heal in peace under playful plucked hair plasters. They are magic, these kids, pure magic. One summer's day at school, when most of the colourless curriculum has been achieved, the teacher, out of boyish boredom, asks his class to build a boat. An egg box is repurposed as a seat, scalene slices for sails, the punnet of some distant fruit becomes a hull, lolly sticks for brawny form, a plastic straw becomes the hopeful skimming rudder. And the boy breathes life into his boat, in that way that children always breathe life into things, especially people. He calls his boat the Adventure. Down by the river, teacher builds a dam and invites all boats to float. Most sorrowfully sink to the joy of riotous rabble. Others dip uneasy till, with much relief, they feel the safety of the dam. But the Adventure, caught by a natural breeze on calmest day, mutinously sets sail for everywhere, dodging dam and flailing grab of Mr. Chase. The children whoop and cheer and clap as horizon turns to objective for this plucky plastic vessel. The boy is hugged and squeezed by girls, but can only watch, graduation pride in eye, as chatting mobs sway lazy back to class. The boy runs home along the bank, expecting to find crumpled punnet in prickled mess, but he never finds a thing. The Adventure, in fact, spends hours and days wrestling sticky reeds and tricky seas down by the banks of our river. Rudderless adrift, this vagrant voyager pushes on, past dipping ducks and car-wash weeping willows, until the way is smooth and calm. Escaping from razor-toothed alley cat comes swinging Dante Rusla, frizz ball of rodent brown, saddened scar of fur about the cheek, a runner and a fighter too, an elegant and scrappy little brat. He happened upon Domino, his tabby chaser, while eating tossed-out ghee from the bins of the Bengal bear. He found a meal, and Domino had found one too. A moment of dilating baiting, scent of scrumptious fear in feline snout, and Dante's off, scurrying swiftly before hoofing down roofing and scuttering guttering, the pounding paw of jungle justice breathing down his twitching tail. Giant leap from Mrs. Lampett's mezzanine to the old leaning tree, where Dante first learnt to climb, as pruned predator thuds airlessly behind, forcing swift scamper down ever-decreasing tensile twigs. And as Dante clings to verdant limbs, he spots the adventure swaying downstream and splat. He lands sloppy in Blackberry Home and turns to see the ginger mass fall into drink with clumsy, furious splash. Dante Rusler quickly finds the rooted rudder in his paw and steers the vessel through the tricky, sticky tide as the concurrent picks steady up. A captain of his own craft far too long, the good ship Survival, Dante learnt both flight and fight so young, runt of a critter litter of 8 or 9. But behind swashbuckle bravado is a sad old hearty thing, forced from his brood still pink and nude. The cruelty of those searching snouts, born to compete for finite teats. But streams they lead to rivers, just as rivers to the sea, so Dante Rusler looks to swollen swell ahead and sees a mooring more than is his sickening, quickening past. He's never quite alone, for pain is a companion too, a conjoined consort stowed away inside the broken wing of bulged breast pocket. It always keeps a crawl space steady pace. And so this panoramic river rat is off, pushing softly into mirrorball of sucking, bucking tide. Now our boy has grown a little too much, white chalk innocence eroded by sandpapers of time. His contemporaries all deal in murky goings-on, pinched booze, crafty smokes, and greasy climactic thoughts. Mirrors become gateways to a neverland of neuroses. Creams, sprays, jellies, clays are all applied illiberally, their claggy scent swathing, like synthetic fog. Nonconformists drown sadly in an ocean of pointed sniggers. But the boy, our boy, he cares for little but simple, solitary acts that satisfy his black hole brain, siphoning the mechanics of reality, the algorithmic blueprints of Mother Earth. He crafts his soft science in a petri dish of cress and ore, traversing his world like a methodical water diviner, sticks for arms, hay for a heart, skinned in a tinge of melancholic youth. He isn't lonely, except when in a room cram-packed with people. Perhaps not happy either, but content. And often that's about as much as we can ask. This latchkey kid is cared for in so much as dinner's always hot, welcome's warm and pillows cool. His mother, she hits a second life at 43 and now just wants to dance and sip and sing, gripped by revisionist nostalgia and a fear of fading features. Boyfriends come like windswept leaves, conducting adequate paternal pastiche before leaving a heap of mum on the floor. As for the biological, well, this is a 20-story story. The dad, this black pudding filibuster, this desert island clay soul mould, he lives in a land of tins and bins, elevators and car parks. Perched precariously in a block of the flattest flats, whose corridors are filled with madness and spats. His boy still visits, but he can't look for too long. At school, too discreet to be the boisterous bully's pet, the occasional ding-dong church bell tie knot and tightly knuckled skull buffs are wiped away like great-aunt's stubbled kiss on cheek. In summertime, he watches bailing tractors pirouette round fields and leaps on silage Swiss roll, with soiled farmers slinking safely out of shot. In winter, there's a cove under the bridge where he can make a den, blue sea tarp, forehead torch, cardboard cave walls, and all the thoughts that he can think. At age 13 is when he first has faithful love requited. Pavlo Brutka arrives in school like a dreaming ant, thick-framed eyes, snow-white soul, iced cake skin. Pavlo stops to think of words for days, world standing still as lightning strikes in wrinkled twigs across the burrow of his furrowed brow. Neither speak the language of their world, but both are fluent in each other, and so they never need to say a word. A counterpart for reflective hearts. They slip through hallways, bridleways, class corridors and dampened moors like spectres of the silent, unison spirits, elated and satiated in mute conversation. These golden green rolls of trees and mole holes are as foreign to Pavlo as the blinking, neighing, galloping prose. So Boy presents this wicker world to his blessed friend, and Pavlo swiftly falls in love with shady sycamores, sculling boatmen, and red shepherd skies. His lungs cough up the tickling dust of war and swell with gentle pollen wind as sturdy roots grow from his soul into the soil. As compassioned recompense, Pavlo raises drawbridge up into sweetly clotted, bleeding heart warmth of family home, and Boy stands eye to eye with oiled and coiled house for the first ever time. Our boy he loves the most to listen to them talk, wishing not to decompose the fluttered words for fear of losing the music of their staccato song. Pavlo's mum was born to love and doles it out in hot ladlefuls of steaming salty soup. She knows too well how childhood feels, so knits our woolly boy in fabric of their hearth and home. Our boy will never feel so alone. But while his life is softly sewn as one, Flora May's is ripped by seams until unbuttoned all across the parquet floor, her nucleus nuked by spiteful tiffs at school bell toll, ex-lovers now who drown their art on prying public stage, leaving Flora medium rare with sorrow and with rage. And so poor Flora May, all pink and grey, is launched kicking and dreaming into splintered adult world, sash of youth torn from her flattened breast, and amongst the chaos she makes her nest. In just 6 months she skips 6 years, roughened and toughened by treading tides, a single glove on footpath gate, lugging parents tugging hard, till all her stuffing, scuffing and huffing, hangs down on shameful, blushing ground. She'll never return from the languid land of the all-too-living. The playground rhymes, frilled petticoat thoughts, sticker books and paddling brooks are all now firm behind. He misses so much the girl who skipped so gently through his mind. He misses his sandpit love, a thirsty girl who now is drenched in life. And thus he sadly comes to see with virgin olive eyes that he is growing up, that things are not forever same, that time exists and hunts the careless sun-kissed flesh of bleating, fleeting kids. And once time exists, so youth is gone. Lost in timeless wooded game of hide and seek, our two boys prance and play till they can run no more, as life in hot pursuit finds bolt hole while they cower close and stow the fragments of their now spent youth. Pavlo Brutka so belongs to boyish, sprightly, joyous days that luminescence of pubescence is where he takes his quiet bow, and right on ashen queue, entombed in gloom, is beckoned back to war-locked, shell-shocked motherland. And so with cawing, clawing, black crow gape, they shuffle to departing gate, and stand, like young folk do, searing feeling in blank, blind stare, their youthful brains too numb to feel the jabbing pain of journey's wane. A snow globe scene of silent love, a fresco drawn of morning sun, rewilding hearts both heading for fresh soil, a conquer-sized forget-me-not in both their throats. Pavlo's in the air once more, and that's where he remains, the cloudy boy with rolled-up jeans and ankle-deep in flowing dreams, his quiet footsteps all about the silty banks. Perhaps it's best that we don't see the waiting wasteland that our dreaming gentle ant must habitat, as the rat-a-tat-tat of changing tides brings new divides, and hot contested Pavlo's home is swallowed up by pounding skies. Unwitting soldier of the next two wars, no sticks and stones but guns and moans. Yes, our poor Pavlo's all too grown. Twinkle, twinkle, falling star, praying hard from land afar. Merrily, merrily, whimpering gently, life is but a dream. The bus drops boy back with lonely pneumatic sigh, the dancing duologue's now sad soliloquy, and for the first time in a swirl of ripened springs, he thinks about his boat, the adventure, and where it now does sleep and rise on throbbing, bobbing tide. Dante Rusler wakes to catch the sneaky sunbeams sprig and sprout across the frosted skies. He'd dreamt of nuzzling siblings, malt loaf noses twitching wet and warm, snuggled in his cotted couch. But all he ever finds is he, once sleepy dust is softly rubbed from fast evaporating dream. He stops to stare at Nordic shore of blinding mirrored white and blue, and feels the whistling kettle drum of morning's yearning mouth to feed. Sustenance, although an endless anchored chore, has such a way of keeping overthinking rat deserting far from his main course. Dante dreams of fresh sardines, but oily anchovies are fine, and knows a slightly warmer corner where they go to school. As he gently bows and bobs, he fishes first his trusty net, unravelling both mind and mesh, as splashing, swelling, at-sea thoughts begin to circle with malicious scorn. Once in shallow, shaly seas, he spies a shiny shoal and dips the net like mother, putting blanket on her dozing child. He sits and tries to think of food. His siren mind this morn, it seems, sings hymn to rocks of what was left behind. For loneliness, a sad and strange disease that must get worse before it is appeased. The creaking of his looping thoughts are hooked and caught by pretty little bobbing duck, and marvels at the ventricles of antifreeze that can survive in such cold plunge degrees. But life's a game of cat and rat, and sombre aqua tour of slimy Vulcan grey comes squirting through the chippy, choppy seas. And so ensues the timeless tug of war, nature's sport both harsh and fair, dueling world of live or die, no median, no mode, just mean gleam of flashed eyes, snap jaws, and raspberry rippled seas. With a whim that logic does abhor, Dante shimmies swiftly to the Colosseum scene. He waits patient like a watchmaker, and as peckish eye reveals from loch and key, Dante acts with nothing but slow motivation shock, and buries fury furry paw into the sweeping peeping socket. He feels the squelch of plasma pouch, and armed with stout caffeine of war, Dante Rusler pulls the tarred defeathered corpse afloat and makes escape, as nature sings poor Mallard ballad for the umpteenth time that morn. The leaking, seeping duck can only slowly blink a lash and stare at Dante with a graceful, fateful kind. But as lost cause's patron saint, our tatty rat, he quickly goes about repair of new red-ribboned friend. Dragging days go by like hematomic soft-tick clock, as Dante nightingales the patient with the patience of a tailored suit. And when dreams stop leading her angelically adrift, when she's fit enough to talk and walk, and life stares out from eyes once more, she tender places humble neck on Dante's scraggy shoulder blade. A deed that says 1,000 words, a picture that says even more. Not only one, but 2 souls saved this hooked and baited, fated day. And so, under watchful eyes of caramel salted skies, they drift together, the world a little bigger now, but somehow also smaller. Meanwhile, our thinking boy blinks once more and finds himself in a cubicle with a screen and a clock and the humming jerk of metronome copies. Telephones hang from ears like IV drips, hydrating employees with a flowing stream of murmured tones. Omniscient script sits dog-eared on desk, as our newly man, for first time in forever, never has to fear what next to say. Interactions are sanctioned and passive, and contain no tricky subtext for which our man has no Rosetta Stone. His inner world leaks from his temple and onto the desk in a puddle of brilliant, insane doodles, his agile consciousness pouring, like gravy boat jus. Reality swings in a hammocked hum of soft grey light as playful fans tickle tittering paper, the mousy squeal of whiteboard marker, static carpets in spilt coffee brown, breezy patrol guards, pens click-clicking like truncheon swirl, the sleepy sloshing water wheel of nameless words, the inertia of soft air particles floating calm like tethered spacemen. There's a tepidity to it all that our man quite likes, not too hot, not too cold, not too busy, not too quiet. Time to think, but not too much. The Goldilocks of ring-stained cups and printer cartridge songs. the mindful monotone of shaven head chakras sweeping dust on acrylic temple floor. The outside world is remembered fondly in stoic mausoleums of pinboard pictures, happy times, beaches and weddings, lost smiles flowing natural and pure. They remind us of ourselves, that this is all for something, that we can walk through the marble corridors arm in arm with Aphrodite, Ra, Osiris, Poseidon, sleep silent like beaver kits, cry and smile, sing and cringe, plie and twerk, gorge burgers in empty car parks, fats bleeding like self-harm, make love to ourselves, try Tai Chi in village halls, slam SUV boots and scroll and never be lonely. As long as in here, we all sit still. The boss in the booth is Gareth Rand. He sits and stares out at his farmyard scene. He misses having a thing to do, ordered by time-slipping wife to cut his shoelace duty ties. So now this puppet king, he sits and thinks and wonders when he's going to die. He built this world so that he could be free, and now with sinking Stockholm strife, he haunts the halls, a spooky duke, head burrowed softly under arm. For lunch it's always noodle soup, every day 4-minute walk to Emerald Store where Mrs. Chung greets all with a languageless grin, price gun snug and snapping blindly at the bok choy tins. He quietly muses over sashayed choice of dust to simmer down his homesick sunrise carbs. 4 minutes back and 20 left to sit and sip at steamy bowl that condensates the streamy screen. Once more he loves to watch the others play, unscripted show compulsive, like tongued food in teeth. Disclaimer reads that some events are dramatised for viewers' glee. He wonders how they laugh so free, and in forward fall of humour's note grab each other's eager wrists like guide ropes over mirthful side-split sea. Roll up, what a trick, what a show, he watches high-wire socialites with lion-taming awe. He sees them fall sad in submarine love, sonars ping like dolphins' doting sigh, and he watches them emerge once more like broken children, weeping, cheeping for a lie they thought was real. Transparency he feels more achingly than ever, phantom of the soap opera, chalk outline of forgotten crime, a jellyfish beached, pinkiners poked by sticks and crying for the sands of tide. He feels just like his father, but more than that begins to understand him too, the croaking, cloaking camouflage of time-lapse waxing silent moon. He lives his life like tiptoed woolen sock on wooden floor, vibrating like a tuning fork, slipping here and sloping there, like cobweb in the cockpit wind. When spoken to he speaks, a glassy voice which shimmers through the air in passive wave of vapoured, laboured breeze. Flora May lives only in illuminating nighttime screen, filling, skipping, ripping heart with sugar and with lemon. He watches her in sad still moments of her endless temperate days, the rain of her upbringing, sprouting wild blossom gaze. Fizzy pomp at picnics, strobe light debauchery, peace signs, red wine, fancy dress and fancy dresses. New friends, new worlds, new smiles, but always same brown seabed eyes. Eyes that once did glance his boyish, coyish way, while finger-painting flowers in his cheerful days of hay. He's happy like a mother missing jubilated child, but pines for the potential of her chance encounter smile. She does not return, once termed as ebb and slip away, her house still algae stagnant, like a lifeless, loveless lake. Time shuffles like a child in church, and unanimous decides to raise its resting pace, fast-forwarding the stillness of man's Barry Lyndon skies. He's had some friends along the bobsleigh ice-pick way, but in echo of his ghostly hue, so oft they slip through walls and doors and sadly sail away. His mum now lives on far-flung fringe of town and gown, in an art cabal of woodwork splintered folk, escaping terror-biting bandwidth of the dinging doorbell world. But behind the third eye-held space mantras and face is nothing but a lost and tired little girl. A girl who's always searching hard, but only finds the prison of herself. She's left him with a rescue cat she saved and then forgot to need, and so the two have built a funny little back-scratch life, once bitten cat more skittish than her clingy, clinged filmed man. They walk together all along the dewdrop wet-socked riverbank, the ninja feline sleek like rustling shadows through the trees. He loves his cooing cat in such a way that wells his slopping bucket eyes when she returns with freshened scars from neighbourhood's prize feline fight. He prays she runs from all her jackknife saw-clawed wars till she purrs in peace of dozing lap forevermore. And so our man, with no prowess to change his routine-rooted tides, might have endless trod the water till his carriage clock and handshake pasteurised days. But the earth, sly as a spinning penny, rolls beneath the dreaming towns, turning sleepers upside down as if to shake the secrets from their pockets. They wish and dream through chiffon-lapping night as campsite fires are birthday blown and naked angels dance their prancing kite-wind flight. Mother Moon is full now, her sweet magic cascading into the sticky black licorice, twinkle-eyed valleys of the world. The lonely get up and leave the house. Chickens lay beanbag membrane eggs. A young couple bay and bicker, wolf-eyed and wild-tongued, snapping in the kitchen as their children dream of draconian seas. Fear sublets the dog kennels, all four paws on caged doors. The leaves fall from the trees and float up to the sky. And Patch the hamster sadly eats one of her young, sparing pup the nervy verve of fearful sawdust world. Time and space collude, and change happens. The world wakes with a shake its passive ones that sleep, and places limp-limbed domino men to stand in line and soon to bow like a drunken hassock sworn amen. For if you can't build the house, then scaffolds you become. And so our orange jelly man is squared and stirred in universe's billowed boil, his liquid poured into the mould of someone else's desperate world. It begins with ink nib eyes that dart his fountain brain and furtive look away again. A bowed and arrow hunch he's tall grass stalked, gamekeeper eyes in gundog mists of sniffing smoky woodland fern. A headlight scurry rabbit finding Lewis Carroll roly-poly hole. Lily sits 4 board seats down, a smudged mascara girl who sees all men as antidotes, but yet to meet the one that softens hangnail set sail scars of yore. Her picks so far were poor. Crossword men that tangle all her waking thoughts, protein men that weigh in much too strong, men who manic sniff the dusty sunrise moon, men who split their love in 2 or even 3, party men, smarty men, search party men who disappear without a trace, mirror men who fell in their reflection on the lake, rich and fickle, poor and pickled, plate smashers, heart smashers, shot smashers, hole in the drywall men, soul of the pub crawl men. And now the bronco of her bucking life sprouts crow's feet and claws and caws. And so the two begin to talk, walk from work and lunch break songs, and Lily levers up the floorboards of his lifetime strife and paperclip picks his deadbolt locked door world. Flooded now with the sickly mainline dopamine of spotlight shine, boyish man falls head and heels, watership down, euphoric burrowed hole of gravity-defying love. The way her eyes do lock on his, a thrilling sight to this poor blighted sprite. The way she holds his hands moves his tectonic china plates. His shameful deprecation softly soothed by stained blackcurrant finger strokes of hair. Flattered like a pancake and chocolate spread, she eases him into rum-barreled water, lights on the causeway blinking like children surprised. She loves him too. She loves him for the way he makes cessation of the oily noise. She loves that he's there, never elsewhere. She sees reflection in our man that satisfies her pillaging marauder mind. He tells her things he hasn't even told himself, and so they float away together. And for a moment all things do stop. The world hangs on a fishing wire in the room of a child. The constellations dull, sun sleeps, stars creep, critters crush autumnal leaves for hibernation's home. The atoms pocket hands and locket time as the silent sky fills with crimson fission. A blurry Zoom call fuzz around all but contour of her beckoning beacon face. The jelly sets cold and still. Lily builds her delicate cairn from bottom up, balancing pebbled man on shiny, steady salted rocks until he stands with scarecrow gait, geppettos full, descaled and dovetailed, a stringy bean of elated fate. He loves to say I love you, so he says it all the time, for joy, for fun, for Icarus's tempting sun, but mostly just for giddy reassurance. For Lil, the creeping treacle fear is gone, for once she isn't blindfold punching, tased and confused in boxing ring of Cupid's muddled song. And so the two do start a life in earnest, in her threadbare nest above the local betting shop, where fortunes flutter, punters sigh, and all who enter lose their silent lives. Things move like magma gloop, taking villages and villagers as it goes. He must rehome his dethroned and broken-hearted cat. She stares at him with milk-pool tender eyes, a mother's look which asks, "Are you sure this is the path?" One last sandpaper lick, one last swish of tickling tail, a hairball knot in both their throats. And in the hush between heartbeats, he thinks how life is but a litany of slow unbuttoning fare thee wells, always waving from the window of life's endless carousel. As he gilt-edge walks down rushing river bank, his mewing cat now cast adrift and needing rescue once again, he thinks about his boat, the adventure, and on what coastal sphere and moorage stage it now does bump and pull and toil and rage. The adventure, once provincial, now beaming with trans-Pacific pride, magician palms its crow's nest cargo as they navigate the throwing world's eclectic extremes of prevailing cold front force. Nature is having much fun with them, orienteering the earth and skies like a sadistic games teacher. Dante and feathered friend Pipsqueak, now all recovered but for the occasional jolted fisherman's dream, are now origami folded and moulded by the drunken poet sea. Its tempers, moods, petulance and loving swell become their Neolithic god, an emotive teenage flurry that must be sacrificially appeased and pleased so life can happen in their two-berthed seagull hull. And so this toxic love pyramid of duck and rat and jealous sea is a strange but functional alchemy. All things they do are in the service of bipolar crashing bear, always prepping for next foam-mouthed tantrum or cold shoulder chill. Their endless nurture of the swashing, sloshing beast brings Pipsqueak and her hero rat so very close they somehow feel like singular limbic linear mind. They no longer need to think. The sultry sea has taken that away, and for our regretting, fretting rat, a sanitarium for his hay barn fire of loss. But very soon a jack-toed foe does enter solipsism view, reminding blinking barrel men that sea will always be their eccentric, loyal friend. Little did they know that waters could be tagged and owned, and that they now approach the all-too-well chartered swell of Shangpeng, a name that causes ripples in any seafair stout. Shangpeng rules the minds and thoughts from his bloodied wooden vessels, and his name becomes encrypted with the crypts of mariners' ancient rhymes. Clouds hold their breath as duck and rat do feel an elephant graveyard darkness descend upon their nervy skiff as ivory smoke does float along the purple scabbing seas. The gunsmoke air reeks of fireworks and flares, and suddenly their boat is clock-face surrounded by deadpanning eyes. No questions asked, no answers questioned, and so the two are forced ashore and off to madness of the palace of Shangpeng. The adventure, meanwhile, is greedy-eyed by many of his brutish and henchmen. Shangpeng's palace rises like a calcified barnacle crown from the corpus misty sea, and little Dante Rusla is earlobe lugged across the filthy floor, with flapping Pipsqueak flowing sad behind, a puddle of feathered tears and fear. And on the tilted throne sits King himself, Shangpeng, swaying like a dandelion chandelier, breath fogged with the stale sweetness of the morning's wine, but with an unmistakable Genghis Khan-do attitude. In carcass-smelling stained torch dim, his hunching laugh is a cruelty bell, a toll for Sharon's hooded nighttime ride. A rat, the slimy words slither from his molar hole, a nasty, smelly little nothing. But bowed head Dante knows he is a rat indeed, creature of cracks and corners, half-forgotten spaces, foreign warren holes where no dusty dreams do go. A rat who always could snatch cheese without the snap, and behind his bright black eyes something nimble wakes and yawns, a thought with claws, a thought with jaws. And so Shang Peng, wretched in his debauched tyranny, cannot envisage Dante having upper paw by a life lived so soft-footed small, half invisible, half ignored. So when this wineskin sovereign lifts condemning limb to inmate friends, Dante breaks association with the groggy, grog-stained guards and ferrets quick himself away. A whisper, a flicker, a brown-furred, skimmed stone streak. Shang Peng reels in his court of no appeals, blinking at the now you see him rat. Dante finds the pissed-up palace honeycombed with breath-sized gaps and turns that our rat chroma knows by vermin instinct lone. And so he scampers through the palace, hollow ribs and lungs like beating heart. Above, the throne room heaves and breathes asthmatic with confusion. Shang Peng barks for order, but like disobedience of our in-flight rat, order doesn't come when called. Meanwhile, Dante does the only thing he knows, and climbs. Up the humming pipes that iodine slosh the rusty water, up through narrow scaffolds lined with dust of festive feasts, up to the rafters where the banners do droop tired like windless sails. And there, swaying up above Shang Peng's empire of dirt, Dante finds it, a loosened cord frayed by years of sun and salted breeze, holding up the sacramental central curtain, heavy as old pride, which hangs behind the throne that Shang Peng does reside. He tests it with a nip and tug, its size and strains, and finally it slumps, sad like a giant, and falls away. Shang Peng and his conjured world vanish swift beneath a dark cascade of folding royal cloth, outraged, squawked, power-maligned, coughing on his own empire's red mist. The guards are paid in fear alone, so none do try too hard to rescue Shang Peng or the soon-now legend of his mythic life, the gypsy palace dweller, the man who swapped the sea for brick and in the end belonged to nothing but the drink. Dante squirrels quick back down, a scrap of fragment shadow squirming safely back to grounded floor. There he meets his pipsqueak's wide and fright-filled eyes, and nudges her towards a draining corner grate, noticed by no one except a thing who lives their life in skirting boards of worlds. And so down, down, down they water slide, two outlaws, feathers and fur, riding hidden gullets straight towards the sea. Water laps at ankles, then at laps, as finally they burst out under pier like stony sneeze from mucus nucleus earth itself. Their boat, faithful bobbing, small enough for hope, it waits. Dante, like a flicked match, leaps aboard and pulls a reeling pipsqueak safe offshore. One ratty razor bite through mooring rope and they drift free, carried by the gentle shove of tide that seems to be on their escapee fugitive decree. So on this serfdom plunging night, in the moonlit hush of the suck-back runaway tide, our little Dante rat proves that even smallest creature can slip through the cracks of empty power's bride, and leave them in a karmic heap of all their folly and their pride. A rat that was loyal to the nightmare of his choice, a rat who dared to be cleverer than a king. The previous week had been sluggish hard upon our lighthouse man, and so the reeling brain spaces out his medicine, dosing incremental reality between cannula flushing saline. He sits like a trinket in his mother's house and feels the Ouroboros like a sickly old friend who knew him as a child. His brain is full of oil and coal and oozes like Bovril, leaving slug slime all across the kitchen floor. He'd watched her slip away, he'd felt it, like slow-motion dreams where swamp limbs wade in treacle streams. Could he have saved her? Or himself? He can't yet face allergic truth, not when there is such cause to weep, but for the longest time he'd lived in a low-key state of neurotic ache. The distance, the silence, the feeling that things were happening just behind the next door. His gut had been yelling hoarse as his coddled mind bathed in warm denial. And so life, lent on a lector with overhead projector, teaches once again that the greatest victim of cowardice is time. He had begun to feel like the walls and the floor, the couch, the pot they left the keys in. He felt himself dragging her down into the marsh, the bog of takeaways, TV, silent sighs and smileless eyes. He had felt her boredom like a wet fog, an ennui sea of endless boardroom grey. He'd completely stopped touching her. He couldn't bear the feeling of her body tense, as though a child at the dentist, staring past the shrill drill at the ceiling poster of A Fragrant Hill. Love, it would seem, is not only blind, but often deaf and dumb. He is older now, time has kept up and sometimes outpaced. There is no hiding behind childlike ignorance, no expectation to mature. This is him and will likely be until the end. He always thought he would grow thickened brigand skin of ancestral stoic stare. He has not. He is the same boy that cried while he hid from bullies as a child. But what our man does not yet sadly know is that pain is the water of our soiled growth. His mother is with him once again, but this only makes the spoon-fed retreat feel more plaintive still. She worries for him, fearful she never set him up for all the cruelties of this world. But she, like all, did her flawed best, and that's about all that he or we can ask. The moment replays in his mocking mind like a scheming serpent, his hot heartbeats keeping a whistling kettle drum fever dream pulse, the opening of the door, the sight of her and him, but most of all the lack of apology in cold Lily's rolling eyes. Heartbreak has its own colour palette, it has its own sound, its own music, it has its own environment, its own geography. It is a separate world that chugs along parallel trackway, a veiled and protein-spiked purgatory, a sprawling windswept beach where inhabitants sit, pouring what-if sands through clenched and mournful fists. A sin bin you must sit in until waved back into play, and, once returned like sunken-eyed soldier, you are never the same. The past is black and sentimental movie grey, the future a silent, sizzling gravel drive. He's never angry even when he should be, Lily's actions black hole sucked into the vision of his loathing self. He sleeps as much as possible, his punch-drunk mind cowering like a shock victim, and wakes with instant craving for unconscious state, as his brain washes and re-washes the dirty laundry all day long. He eats pragmatically, food becoming energy and nothing more, beige bites swallowed like wet brick sand. He has strange moments of euphoria, especially when on his newly habitual lengthy walks, but respite is short and faceless torture quickly dunks his head back in the waterboarding sea of abandon all ye hope. Sometimes he sits at the back of church, quiet as a Quaker, watching the hook-backed parishioners shuffle through their dusty faith. He likes the way the air feels in this place, soft particles stretching legs, allowing organ pipes to carefree blow them all about the timeless space. His father comes to visit, never saying a syllable more than needed, and so mum and dad sip milky sweet kitchen tea and whisper about their boy. It's the first time he's ever seen them talk, their analogue hearts rewired 100 times or more, but the man, he is always their boy, theirs to share. And so they always love the same sad thing, and somehow, by extension, one another. The man is now the boss of some jaded younger folk, promotion inevitably reserved for those that never leave. His substitute teacher pheromones echo out into the airlock office and leave our man doing much of their work, preferring this to the sticky heat of confrontation. And even though they smirk and laugh whenever the corduroy boy's back is turned, he likes them and misses them much when they make an anecdotal footnote out of employment of this living-waged Boer war. He walks a lot now, still wearing his sad love like a cheap suit, cummerbund gripping spleen as bow tie cuts off air to his meringue-fanged brittle brain. His ordinate mind surveys the quiet pastures of the agoraphobic moors. He watches wind travel through long grass like wild buffalo as festooned leaves wave cheerily down. Nature quickly becomes a peaceable panacea, a hot tub warmth for cold love's groping stomach churn. In the evening he peers in windows from a distant safe, watching families do their merry dinner dance, and wonder why he is forbidden from this postcard safeguard life. The humorless cackle of bravado seeps from the late-night lonely holes of drink. The moon hangs like a regretful newlywed as Dead Sea sulphur discharges from fish-gut-manured fields. Internal poetry is quiet now. He feels as if there's only 10 or 13 words in the entire world. Flora May is back, armed with husband and sprogs, and passes him in the street like a one-man band of flooding memories. Her flowchart cycle is complete, the place she couldn't wait to leave now wistful fueled with vinyl crackling of frog-spawn jar memoirs and forgotten long-sleeve-covered scars. She promises she will construct her home more sturdy than her kin, but she won't. None of us will. We'll hurt and push and blame our aimless life on all around but us. Her golden husband is built warm and loose, sanguine hair, flowing stare, and a rifleman's rich-postured air. And so our man laments this scratch-card life, not with resentment, but a wonder what it feels to be someone like that. To hold court and court souls, to be the rote and not the writ, to be listened to and to listen well, to know all the rules and the eager meeple moves, to feel at home in life, not like a homesick French exchange, to be a brother and a father and an eye-contact lover, to have limbs that walk alongside one another, to order the latest drink and to wear clothes that keep gentle pace with fashion's race, to have skin that melts to butter in the sun, to solve a problem not to hide it in a drawer, to fix a leak and playful throw the sullied cloth at grateful mate, to turn the steering wheels with open palm and pay for life with a platinum stroke, to sneak behind a cooking girl and squeeze your arms around her wanton waist, to make a group of people laugh and to maybe make one cry, to be noticed, to be a thing, to be a mirror for the deity that charmed the few and left the rest to sorry stew. And the more our man thinks, the more he wishes to be something entirely else, perhaps the wind that mows the grass, or anything that moves instead of being moved. One day, while plotting usual course over the white noise weir, the man he stops to see a boy play softly in the stream. He watches close as the glisten-legged lad constructs a dam, enjoying the wet rock clack of a sound as old as fire. He thinks of Pavlo and of Attic boxed-up youth, a place that lives in nowhere but the mind of this beyond the pale king. The boy is nowhere but here, and the man is everywhere but there, and all of a sudden he misses everyone. His reception teacher, Mr. Frank, whose hairy hands did teach him how to blow his nose. The port-splashed grocer Green, who never questioned kids' suspicious counts of penny sweets. The strange old girl across the street who let the geese into her home to honk their hymns in hollow rooms of her abode. Where are these people now? He wishes to be with them one last time. But while his mind slips into Chinese rose-tinted whispers, the barricade boy calls for backup with his slippery current task. And so before the man can catch his middle-aging mind, he's on his knees with silky waters running over pink-blue hands. They work in silence, goal unclear, the monotheism of the sopping job bringing presence to the cliff-top slipping world. These rocks, time happens to them smooth, eternal life of water's calming rub, to warm a road till all is silt and stream, their salt a gift to buoyant sea. But as quickly as the joyous damning moment comes, the boy is beckoned back away to frozen food and peas and bathtub scrubbing knees. Over weeks the man and boy meet time and time again, building back rebellious rocks that tumbled down the playful chuckling stream. To tourist eye they look as simple as a dad and son. They speak through water and the rocks about the sorts of fish that meandered through these dancing silver seas. Lamprey, brown trout, pike and eel, roach and chub, all rumoured found in fishing creel. The boy tells man with unkempt pride about a rod owned by his absent dad. The man tells boy about a boat he made and lost as just a child. But clearly boy can never true believe this ear-haired man was ever young or barefoot splashed through nature's rising sun. But peace is vulnerable to window-smashing harmed alarm, and next time when the man arrives, awaiting, blockading, wading child, a woman stands, and with blackest minor thoughts, berates alliance with his flapping-fished new friend. Dark-hearted rumour wildfire spreads round clucking commune cage, a final nail for man who lived already on the fringe of this collective rug. From this day forth, suspicious whispered shadow follows him about, like slinking cat that slipped so still behind this poor lost woggled scout. And so alone, but for a doting mum and hairline fractured dad, he stares at feet as he woolly sheepish shuffles along the river's memory bank, thinking of his shipyard life and of course his boat, the Adventure, and how and where it disappeared from sight. Dante reads the orchard lines of glazed balsamic current tides with faithfulness of dexterous braille, himself and sea now cast to die as one. Quiet and pipsqueak holds the till as swill and swell does tickle this our goodest ship Adventure, causing it to joyful dolphin skim the screwball scramble sea. The two are fleshy meshed as one, although the late night sessions of the soul have made way for dimmed reflection of another draining day. And yes, his sometimes muddled deeds do too oft lead to fireside crackle of a hiss and tut. And yes, a stern and yearning silence is the music of the duck's lost lifelong song. And so poor Dante, with no closeness lasting longer than bucolic frolic day, can sense the trip-rope traps of his fair sea, but not the pungence of dry canker blossom rot. He knows it not, but this encroaching tombing gloom is slippy place where all good things do die. A thinning world where past and future make a deal and watch what comes of this their prodigal setting sun. For life is nothing but a cycle, and there is no doting spring without a winter's gnawing Jack Frost claw. They sail in waters deeper than a steepled town, but Dante's instinct senses trenching danger as the fish do swiftly shoal in backwards motion to naivety of skipping skiff. And soon the brine in this dive bar does turn to Pinot Noir, as restless foamy spittle waves do warn the voyage of a thing that has no name. Suddenly the boat it half-pipe drops 100 feet into the army of tsunami-balmy waves. Dante wonders what on this blue planet could move water's body to create such Himalayan peaks and squealing piglet troughs. His mindful blind spot query doesn't take too long to see. Out of the midnight moonless sea comes an oblivion of obsidian, a prehistoric kraken brute that lifts the boat up high to flinching starlight night. Pipsqueak flaps and scolds and moans as Davy Jonestown saboteur preps adrenaline pumping, show jumping vessel for an anaconda seabed sleep. But Dante leaps to this the only duty that he truly knows, and typewrite quick he scurries length of captive craft and bites the coiling slipknot sail so that it snaps into the wild wind of the whirlwind fight. Then a lordly tenet leap, self-preservation with no time to blink, onto the godless tentacle of bleak and primal crashing justice scales. The monster thrashes like a squid's in funfair ride, smashing rat into the blackness of the turncoat sea. But Dante does what Dante does so well, and holds on tight and hopes aquatic roller coaster will run out of steam. The candescent crescent moon stares down, saddened by the cruelty of these pagan flecks she glimpses from her searchlight peep show sight. What lonely colony of scurried ants are these? And what seeking purpose are they desperate to achieve? She blinks and thinks, and wonders if they know how arbitrary they do seem. But meanwhile our steely rat he holds and holds, mind as sharp as a paper cut, and finally the beast it starts to cardiac decrease. Dante finds a Thagomizer grip and bites down hard on putrid undulating rubber eel, a Stanley knifing puncture snipe. And like a bullseye archer bursts an arching artery, oil gushing wound becoming a mustachioed prospector's dream as monster plain view slips into tar-pitted olive sea. And at that moment nature gives Adventure an organic fair trade hand, filling sail with goodly gust to lift them from divinity of Neptune's holy trinity. The two are one again. Dante holds her like an angel, loving it too much when she needs him to live. He hopes to be of penknife use until the day the sea does hold his hand and welcome him to visit salty echoed caves where he must leave her at the morning mouth. To live for someone else, what's harm in that? And if you lay your life on platter plate, then surely they could never want to be an inch from your fair side. but things do slide. And so again the years slip by like half-remembered dreams, days and nights, weeks and months swirling steady round our heavy weather child, like suburban sucking sinkhole. Since stinging nettle soup of naive love's game, our man has kept his profile low, finding a cajon rhythm that keeps his mind from wandering into silhouetted cul-de-sac of refluxing bitter swallowed pills. And so he builds his palace of the mind with sanitised equine blinkers as a shoebox under his mattress overflows with the colourless confetti of low-level strife that can never be extracted from his time capsule life. He is older now, there is no pretending other. His body wheezes and snaps at dawning morn, disagreeing with him on the very fundamentals of kinetic doctrine. For the first time in a lifetime he is forced to think about his death. He is over halfway there, and closer yet if runaway train continues building pumping piston steam. The past sits Polaroid still in a sandbox, a frontal lobe globe, as the hungry future incessantly swallows the horizon. But our man, he tranquil eyes the world through chainmail veil. There's even pellets of some joy, universal food parcels parachuted in like cosmic pat on celestial head. He loves the people at his work and even chats to some same introspective souls, a funny low-stakes talk about hot asphalt streets and the cumbersome movements of the yawning dustbin trucks. And so he's learnt to live within his skin, without it feeling like he's peering out from someone else's clothes. He's bought a dog that sits beside his lifetime fire, burr-tangled fur of happy codependence. The dog adores with such a sad-eyed, wet-tongued love, spinning glee and scratching flea, and wanting nothing but to be by welly-booted side. He doesn't change his tune mid-song, or disappear for nail-nub nights on end. He doesn't withhold his bounding love, and is always filled with whooping cowboy joy when car-keyed man appears in frosted glass. And so our man is pulleyed out from twisted air crash metal of his time in Lily's aura, the borealis of her thunderclap eclipse, now nothing more than distant foggy ships. He promises himself to never play no limit game where sweeping dealer's arm takes all, and pensive smiles at broke and gambled, strangled souls. He plays his life with volume low, and finds that squared content routine is a happy trade for the wet knees of doublooned and desperate seas. He's streamlined happy as a funfair fish, not growing more than milieu of his sunken castle dreams. But trauma is the sundial of this mortal flowing world, a before and after bookmark for our entropic heap of sandy slipping time. For no one knows they are okay until they're not. Mother's subterranean symptoms hide, grinning as the clueless seekers count from 10, until a blue-gowned scan unbuttons her life and slips inside. And then once cover-blown with Trojan guile, the molehills spread through helpless sleeping blood canals. She stares at him with peace and fear, both coursing through her clotted, wine-stained veins. And suddenly their lives become such high-staked race. There's things they need to do and things that must be said. And all do wonder why they wait till now to make their motive moves, while life it hangs from twanging band of swan song's most distressing tune. As they sit and talk and hold each other's hungry hands, she tells him of a far-off dream where she was nothing but a sprite, a hope-filled wisp that moved through life with hopscotch-skipping daisy flight. Her dad's warm hands and mother's stroke, her boisterous brothers kicking balls at the angry brick of next door's walls. He's never thought of mother as a child, but children we all are, and children will forever be. And now he sees that child reflected in her eyes, the pleading understanding that she does not wish to know. All our innocence slowly stripped on life's rough seas, till corridored black door is all that's left to see. Oh, for one more day not knowing what we stumble soft toward. But they find such levity with spirit-levelling confessions of this daft and silly game. He, released from privacy of shame, tells her about his anxious bedsheet sag with tutting Lily, and they groan a belly-buckled laugh in that way that all is trivial when the world is but a stage for blotting paper sea. His mother's nurse is Puri Pot of freshened air, who doesn't let the weight of work forget that pain-racked patient is and was a dancing soul. And so kind Sally quick becomes the backbone girder of this vertebraeing, flailing group. Her shoulder squeeze and comfort looks absorbent to the waves of tears that try to drown the surfers in the swell of this albino sea. She knows too well how quickly men do fall, without the sacred feminine to keep them from their lonely toast and microwaving tea. While mother sleeps, the two do talk like cautious fingers reaching across a void, and things begin to softly bloom, the two entombed in wicker basket of this hot flush air balloon. This isn't hard and pulsing love that knocks him clean from plastic cup of coffee seat, but something else, the gentle moving of a slow and mittened coiling dream. And so he learns the language of another kind of kindly bread and buttered love, a low-lit warmed fire love that bottles up the acid rain and turns to smooth hydrating drink that quenches all the pain. He watches Dad Greyfriars bob his tear-stained head while sitting by ex-lover's side, and in a flash does see them as they have forever been, two lost and broken pilgrim souls, riding on the current in this rolling river Styx, oars in hand and onward bound, like shadow spectres in a cave of sighs. And for a moment linear time is gone. He watches them at wedding day and building life in their first flaking flat, and a drunken giggled dance on the belling toll of New Year's Day. Their love, it never died, just wandered off into the mists of Pinecone Forest Way. But all they ever have to do is call, and other will come running through the ferns, their history the compass, and their memories a heavy chain that ne'er could be detached from salty stone of harbour wall. And so the moment comes at sleepwalk pace, the rocks too slippy that the mother tiptoes down for anyone to follow. She closes eyes and breathes a quiet mewing sigh. Time looks away, sound shuffles down the hall, air particles hold bonding hands, and two men stand, still as a stone circle, and stare at a girl who gave them both the most important thing that anyone can give. Neither go another living day without a smile or tear for this their beauty queen of life's night pageant gentle breeze. They silent howl at moon forevermore, two aching wolves who miss their maiden love, staring always up at sky to see if they can feel her in the constellation night. Where do people go? Where do they go? But Sally keeps the nihilism of a loss so great at bay. She watches from her lighthouse booth, foretelling waves and guiding him through treachery of heartsick, hopeless seas. She knows just when his thoughts do boneyard slip, and holds his hand so he can feel the anchor of her world. She in turn has never met someone so gently kind, his honest tears receipts to his sad loving heart. She wraps him tight and kisses the waves away. They snugly fit, round peg, round sole, within each other's quiet worlds, two entwined placated fates, not speaking much but saying lots with brevity of fluttered utters. They move erosion slow, they take their time and never spend a night apart, as long as both do breathe the sap of maple staple gift of life. And so our man, he loses keystone sturdy holding peace, but finds an engineer most civil to build a bridge over the estuary of mud and silt, and trolleys left to rust and wilt. One day he sits and waits for Sally at the place adventure came to be his folklore shore, and watches Cygnet follow path of mother's sleeking paddled way. And all at once, with adrenaline pumps, a girl called Flora May sits on the bench beside, her dull and tired searching eyes unrecognised to skip rope child that beams from mantelpiece of framing smiles. neither say a single word, but heart-impounding man can't help but notice wedding fingers' naked sigh. And so he gives a silent prayer for all us battling, failing folk, whose idealism of the perfect nest is quiet unpicked until there's nothing left to stop us falling long and strong into the greener grass and starting cycle once again. It's sad we are so scared of death, for parts of us are dying all the time. God bless us all, it's Hebrew hard, the lifeboat love that with time will drag us into coldest, coldest seas. Fear of alone and fear of trapped, fighting over our ship's wheel. Good luck to all on this titanic cruise ship trip. Let's never stop the kick and fight against the waves that split us into silent, angry, shipwrecked flecks of orange, buoyant, bobbing night. So Flora May gets shaky up, the clipped-winged teen of milk-float queen. She moves off down the autumn bank while wringing dry her hands of life. Our man, who for a moment in her presence once again became our blinking boy, he looks at that same changing weave of stream and thinks about the adventure and how it slipped from plainly view and into pocket of the things that live eternal in life's wistful journal. Dante stares at the moribund damson plum sun, thinking about the fumbled world he's dutifully failed. The maelstorms of Mother Nature's grinning gusts have made reservoir way for utopic golden Schlager seas. But this bizarro Heathcliff diver mind does not reflect the calmness of the feathered breeze. Pipsqueak's silent works the ship as Dante feels her unrequited, quieted ire seep through semi-permeable membrane brain. Those eyes that once did view him as a quintessential act now only see a tired and overstudied three-act play. And so these two stargazers, thrown together by the fate of flapping crimson crippled seas, is all but running dry of its cold smouldered steam. There comes a time when all sleeved aces have been played, when quirks become a snagging nail and angelic halo light does turn to quiet disdain. Oh, to be unknown to her once more, to play the part of hearty rogue again, but in her eyes that rat is gone, and pain of mundane is all that remains. The pea-green dream now nothing but cold light of day's sunk anchored chain. Dante Rusler doesn't know what's left to do, so hides inside internal schism soul that appears indifferent, but is purely fear of eye-roll toll of wrongly spoken word. To think Shang-Peng and monsters feared could be dispatched without a care, but Pipsqueak's empty look of ache could flood his heart with this acidic lake. Neither know that silent curse has happened upon their constellation love, but sad it has, soaked through like wet ghosts in the waltzing Danube, and very little now can save the two who spent so long stuck with only bobbing bottled message to hold their bows as one. This slow and inky change has damned the Swiss cheese geezers, letting sombre beetroot juices swill blood orange bleach in Rat's depreciating mind, and in the vicious cyclone dust make his behaviour that more sedimentary still. The saddest part is now the fish do gay leap from the sea into their ship to eat, but with a plentiful bellyful of satisfied stomach, somehow Dante feels that he is ribcage starving more than e'er before. Pipsqueak's love was all that ever gave a context to his wooden palette, empty canvas life. And so our fretful Dante learns that love is but a gateway drug to longing and despair. But suddenly the sea, it shakes our rat from maudlin collage thoughts, as adventure snags a pointed rock and water starts to glug 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 like thirsty Chardonnay. Dante's consternation mind takes longer to react than should, and Pipsqueak acid snaps while bucketing the flood alone. Cracked back into a sniper's focus, Dante rips a piece of sail and finds the pace that helped him fix the boat's storm-battered sloping stern. Pipsqueak scuttles water fast as she can go, but as our Dante works to tide the flow, he sees in her the anger of a person who no longer trusts the life she never truly chose. As water rushes over all their things, the relic ruins of their huckleberry fins, Pipsqueak can no longer work, and with a housewife's pain, throws her bucket overboard and spits some words that puncture like a sword. Dante fails to plug the hole, he always fails the task these days, and for a moment both just let the chaos slush around defeated feet. Thankfully their losing cause is elementary saved by changing wind, and Dante senses he could limp boat half empty to the shore. They soon arrive on Hot Pin Ram's Head Whitesand Bay, and Dante pulls the ship into the shallow water of the Struggler's Cove. They catch their breath, then let it run away again. They look at one another, sad-faced hurt and years of dirt etched in their B-road mapping lines. Did time do this to them, or sadder still, each other? Pipsqueak knows she has to leave, so sorrowfully does, off to find her native tribe. She can fly and he cannot, and that's always the way it's been for our deserted island rat. He's never one to weep or pine, but in this crying shame he lets go of a shaming cry. The Heartache Beach, where sand is made from sailors' dreams. He reconnects with this, his oldest friend. Our aging boy, meanwhile, stares down at the fluttering river's dance and sees himself as a kaleidoscope of different men. The lover, the justice, the soldier and schoolboy, and now a three-scored soul who finally finds the peace we all do restless search in the costume trunk of our lofty lives. He thinks how sweet it would have been to find this warm ceased fire in his stick-of-gum egg-plum years, but that is not how this game works, for peace does only come once we have spun our wheeling helm through our fair share of sideways rain, and joy can only true exist inside the shadow of despair. He learns there are no heroes nor villains, but only perspective. For the world, it cannot stare through our eyes when its skylight opens to entirely different skies. He cares much less, this newfound eubenzena methadone, to the agonizing, scything life that used to lead him down the crazy paving path. He's pulled out from his minefield mind, cut from the seg and into pleasant presence of Shavasana's cool crystal pose. Or perhaps he's found the creeping closure that we matter less than we do think, and though it's sad we're not the sun, but just a dwarfing orbit rock, there's comfort to be had that this regardless world does swing in timeless dust of Neptune's ring. A mainstay reason for his softened calm is sweet warm Sal, who holds his hand and walks him down the bank of this, his only constant in disordered causal world of fated luck. She loves our man for what he is right now, and never tries too hard to ding the dents of life lived under Newton's apple tree. Of course they scratch and bug like fleas, but both can smash the short-lived tension with a break-glass hammer made of symbiotic love. They are afraid to be alone. They know that place that lives outside their sticky hedgehog nocturne nest. And so, from conflicting fights they float away to keep the lurking outside world at bay. These warm companions snugly read out loud in the backwater hour before their sleep, taking chapter each so other can stare thoughtfully at space and time and all things fine. He brings her flowers from his wistful well he walks. She lets him lick the cake mix spoon and holds his hand when shard of past does prang his spinning bike wheel brain. They love like children, playground wed, a Play-Doh love that oozes through whatever shape it's pushed. They love like people used to love, a tut and sigh replace slam doors, a cardigan, bifocal love, tea on the trolley in front of the TV love, the sort of love that grows when people look through others' eyes before their own. A love that needs no trumpet chorus throng, no fanfare, no proclamation, no public displays of elation, for who is to be told if both already know? And so they barely see another soul in this their uterus of quiet need. He visits graveyard every day to sit with his composthumous folks. His dad he made a few more stumbled years, in that sad way that men lack context without spade or maid, but never felt he true belonged in a world without his golden sun. And so one day as he got up, he got back down, and never came back up again. Oh, we love to snap and spite, what time we waste, what love we swap for pride and gloom. Then life is gone, and all that's left is squandered smiles and empty rooms. Our man, he holds even tighter to his girl, motorcycle tight. Then one normal day, as man and dog do weave the dance of shadowed leaves, he doesn't quite know who he is, or where he is, or what he is. His mind it fills with cool white paint, a hoovered vacuum of all things he's come to love and hate. He's found by ramblers stuttering strange, and brought back home to life by sweet elixir of a milky mug of Sally tea. Dr. Pensive pauses on the phone, but makes out that a scan is mere routine. But next day morning's date does give his masking breeze away. There's a danger in lack of delay. Our man he stares up at the gypsum roof and thinks about a moment in his youth when he is skipping stones. How like a coffin he does feel, as he glides through polo mint of bleeping fairy light. A child's tear runs down his silent cheek. That same child who hid from bullies in a bush. That same sallow homesickness of a journey he knows only he can take. The doctor says the symptoms have come young, and boyish man he thinks about his age. It's just about the age that doesn't quite make tragic headlines anymore. Just about a solid innings at creator's crease. Life is here to take him. Bailiff slow, one postcard at a time, one Sally smile at a time, one toy train and rainy window pane at a time. He's scared once he forgets his mum of who will carry this his vault of darkroom treasured stills. And so as hinterland drifts in, does she also die a second finite time? Sally picks up breadcrumbed pieces like the only way she knows, a biscuit tin response to restless currents in this sad heart sea of time. She only cries when she's alone and stiffens hips and upper lip so he can lean on her when he's afraid of being alone. He feels as if he's drifting into foggy groggy world for which she has no map and doesn't want to live in that dark cave to which she cannot flash her loving lighthouse beam. Life gets so beautiful. You'd think that such news would make the person dye the sky with blackened rage. You'd think the apathy would grind away the bone, but it does not. Every grey rain Tuesday is a gift. Traffic jams a chance to look each other in the eye. A baby's crying cafe, a symphonic primal lute. A fox that licks recycling bin, a binoculared safari thrill. An old friend's face a Rembrandt. A setting sun, Van Gogh. A quiet kiss, a Hockney. He makes new friends who share his waterlogging brain. They laugh and cry and eat pork pie and tell of days immortalized inside their chromosomes. They become each other's diaries, bearing witness to their present, past and future hence. They make each other real and never let each other disappear. And can you believe our lonely man sees more friends in a day than most do see a year? And yes, we all could say how sad they come in this his overflowing waxy wick of life, but they come and they stay, and maybe that's about as much as we can ask. Every prayer gets answered in the end, as long as hearts stay buoyant and don't slip into the murky, bitter swell. And so the moments of humiliated shame are set on fire by fellow brave and rowing souls, great Scott oared against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past, never allowing lowing present to stay too present, and fighting future with ferocious drunken swings. And so he learns that we can't save ourselves, we can only save each other. He starts to speak with others who have just been dumped with news of shaking Etch-a-Sketch disease, an inward smirk that finally he's found his tribe, a sorry group of drifting thoughts with madness all around, mutating, quaking ground. Maybe this is the place he's long belonged, somewhere between the mad and lost poor soul, somewhere between a haven and a hell, somewhere between salvation and damnation's endless sleep. It is really something to be needed. Only now he understands the canyon chasm he's been trying to always fill. To be useful, to be rock, to be a handrail, a tungsten nail, a steady arm that weight of world can be leaned on. Perhaps all we're truly supposed to be are rescue boats for others' rocky, shipwrecked seas. He stares at death, head cocked like owl, and sees it as it is, the only thing that gives true connotation to this game show farce. He sunrise dawns to understand that seas and skies and love and life would have no meaning if that hooded smile, it didn't tap on sleeping doors and whisk us off to newborn shores. And then one day, as muddled man and Sally snuggle silent sit, on banking bench that one day will have his and her memorial plaque, she turns to him and asks about the adventure, and what worlds it's seen while they have so distracted been. The man he thinks, and wonders how and where his childhood skims the sinkbowl sea. Dante stares at the liminal shore of pinhole pistol night, lonely as a westerner, and silent calls her name into the wind. His porous bucket mind lies against the fish tank floor as the stars play therapeutic watchman, concerned for their circadian sun. The world has taken liking to this rat and keeps marsupial eye on all that he does do. Here he is, and this is all he has to show. Mask tape sail, blue tacked hull, underwriter's knotted soul. And so he's forced to confrontation with himself. What Mariana trenched clenched did ostracize his saddened youth, and leave him hostage to the flapping winds of world. No guide, no road, no patient Sherpa to share load, no breakfall net, no loving pet, just him and all the rules he did not know. His hazed and dazing mind recalls the pink of that old time. His mother gentle noses him away from lifeblood lacteal tum, and father finishes the vac-packed act with nip and pull across the car park from the place they warmly snout and playful lay. And from this moment on, that child we carry everywhere with us has lost that thing that makes him young. And he will always, in sad spirit, be the one who was foregone. His success mild, his failures deep, and a desperate need to please a dad that he will never once more meet. And he must carry poisoned flask in luggage hand of every place he goes. This sad abandon followed natural by abandonment of one's own self. This our Dante Rusla rat has not the tools to fix these blood capillaries of vile's disease, and so he errs and stares, dragged back to that formation place where all his dreams were laid so base to waste. Oh, to be a brother and a son, should we ever want for more? Dante says a prayer for his unknowing, wiggling siblings. He wishes them a life where they belong. A simple ask, for an answer he did never know. He is a beautiful rat, just as the hearts most loving are the ones who have been wounded most. His loneliness it never left, nor did his hope that something could fill up his quarried soul. He's lived life as one should, with wind in hair and salt on cheeks, and a belly full of grey cloud sleet. He is a hero and a coward too, a lover with no outlet store, a fearful fighter, stage fright funny, boisterous wuss with paws that claw but want for nothing but to learn to hold. He has so much to give, but gives back nothing to himself. He hears the spark of storm like early lark before it makes a sound. Like Gregorian chant it echoes through his boomeranging bones. It sounds like sleep. It sounds like home. It sounds like the place he's always known. We know it too, that place we dream, that place of gentle, rocky streams. He's loved this friendship with the world. He's loved the skies and seagull cries. He thanks the ocean like a girl he deeply loved but never fully understood. Its Goldilocking paradox, its moods, its calms, its tender rolls, its life, its love, its soothing shoals. He sends his soft heart manifestation to the mother moon, and she responds by summoning the tallest wave of embracing light and dark. It stands before him with a smile that's made from pain and joy and kelp, and swoops down hard and fair, soft and full of care. His mother scooping baby up, the feeling of a bleeding, warm and pulsing heart, the rhythm of our Dante's first and final resting place. This rat who dreamed 1,000 things at once, this tide, this quiet night, this quiet life, this impish dancing starlight bright. He holds on tight, our rat, until it's time to let us go, as thoughts do slip and bubble down with life. So to a world of coma sapiens, cirrus souls, eyes wild white and clouded like test tube smoke. This confederacy of lost mountaineers, they shelter mapless before making doddering way to submitting summit. Time drifts away across a street up a drainpipe and watches through the window like a guilty child, feeling saddened and shameful for what they have done. The old man, he lives in many moments, zoetrope life happening all at same shutter speed time. Mother strokes his forehead hair as flint-eyed Flora May snoozes in a flower bed, humming a song about handsome men. Pavlo stands, grubby and gracious and green, at the old leaning tree, while Lily looks kindly round while dipping soapy dishes. He is here and there, to and fro, dancing through visions with editorial snip, finding the seabed souvenirs that encrypted his soul. And then, plucked from timeless tornado by soft shoulder stroke, there's a kindly nurse's smile and a warm cup of chipped limescale tea. And he is back and knows how many fingers and how many toes, and remembers his grandfather sunbathing in a suit. He wonders where he's been and for what hallucination duration before slipping back once more into the shushing gravel of misted, forgotten faces. Loyal Sally comes every 5 minutes, but also leaves 10 angry years between visits. She sits with him and holds his absent hand as he looks through her at the wall. She misses so much the man who shared her mind, exhibiting twisted, bittersweet smile when, through the smog, a momentary flash of human sweeps across the man's freewheeling face. He's chaperoned everywhere like a rehab celebrity, a shuffling keep pace of yellowing minimum wage crocs and smocks. Death has set up office in this place and walks the corridors cognito, ergo cloakless, not fearful, gay nor sober, just quietly taxman efficient. Life goes by one sloppy spoon of shepherd's pie at a time, the communal ayahuasca of oak-aged brain bouncing off the portal walls. The place between sleep and awake. That place is here. But our crinkled kid, who we have followed right from pudgiest pink, is not afraid. He always was so much afraid that he would be afraid. That he is zero-sum spared, in trade for dignified lucidity. The place where agitation never rears its twiddled thumbs is a spot that overlooks the dew-eyed river, the noise of fraggled, splashing rock, comfort to the time-bending, place-wending, burgeoning vignettes of life. The old man sits and soaks up the wetness. That is the favourite tune to all his epoch ears. Dante Rusler blinks awake from coal mine sleep to find a place that softly deja muse his softened organ piped cream dreams. The weep of wistful willows, sweet shop air, petrichor moors, the echoed bell of churching toll, the laziness of gleaming stream, the Bengal bear that silhouettes the setting scene. He slack-jaw stands to ripening truth that he has circumfronted an entire globe. A sheeted line of T.S. Eliot haunts the waking mind, but will not its welcome overstay, and so remains, like much in Dante Rusler's life, just safely out of arm's length reach. But here it is, this place, his squeaking sibling sunshine land, his banana bread wet, washed behind the ears, lofty fears, saccharine sepia stained, reluctant past, his Eden kingdom where creation came to be, the lilted land of apple trees and shameful naked serpent dreams. He forgot how soft this place is. He forgot how warm and velvet bright. Aspiring youth that whispered him horizon songs was blind to sunny beauty of this runny honey land. Regretful pang that fangs the core, he did not sleep forever under season's salt and peppered skies. He unslacks sail and lets adventure trust its gut, meanders known like baby to its mother's song, genetic memory sad and strong. So Dante Rusla sits and drinks the woozy booze of antiquitic airs and stares at brave old world he never knew had lived inside his ebb and flow for all these tidal years. Meanwhile, our untimely kindly man, he sits and squints, allowing mind to dance its merry jig. Held hands, soft whispers, familiar stranger faces, as vanishing tea performs circus tent tricks on arm of mocking chair. But, spotting recognition on the starry saline seas, he stands to great attention, while figment fragment of his youth does slow and halt before his spongy cake tin gaze. The rat can only share his stare, instinct causing eyes to well, would you believe? Distant echoes oil and fuel this rheumatoid tinned man who jerks and teeters down to meet a likewise scarred and weathered figure standing meek and bold in blackberry keel. They pensive peer with rowing boat oar as cerebellums whir and lure. Both drifters, one travelled, one not, both answerless, both chasing tail until they found themselves. The adventure, though every cell respawned 100 times or more, is that same boat that glint-eyed 8-year-old did breathe his life and world inside, in a faraway, gentle, downstream scene. Dante offers grateful paw to disengaging, aged man, who takes a deepened keepsake breath and shuffles off this portal coil, stepping into rocky dip of buoyant, playful, bobbing bow. And as adventure breaks its bind from surety of living shore, the old man turns to see a happy host of tender splendour waving faces. Mum and dad stand arm in arm and ear to ear, parental painful love worth every tear in gold. Lily's lockpick escape room smile, that taught him both the heavens high and woeful lows of thorny stormy rows of love and life. Flora May, she always stayed, silent stowed in sacred heart-shaped locket space, his earthy curtsy queen of childhood's red letter setting suns. Her skipping frilly socks a beacon of her uncut diamond timeless souls. Sally's dignified soft warmth, who showed him faithful foxglove love and asked for nothing in return. And Pavlo too, immortalised where guns are made from sticks, the best friend that a boy could ever wish. Not many knew his name, these people did. They were his port, his storm, his lighthouse rocks and wreckage too. And all at once he understands them too, an empathetic bolt of light that runs so deep it smashes all resentment into lashing, laughing rain. And as boat tugs lazy off downstream, old man waves one more contented wave and turns to look at landscape scene of moistened mists and mellow greens. You've had quite an adventure, says old man to hazy, stargazy rat. Dante Rusla turns to look at egg-timed, glistening eyes, weathered smile and creases of cathartic strain. And so have you. As adventure sets its sail towards the almond finger skies, it slowly dusks and dawns on man that he has felt but all there is to feel. The bookbinder town shuffles down and raises hand to block the brightness of the day as bouncing bees are harmonised by phone lines' gentle static song. Seen stealing moon, she enters bluest sky stage right, like blushing actor that forgot their cue. as toothpaste children squeeze from schoolyard gates, rushing home to change out of their scratchy shirts and ties too tight. A young girl flinches at cold gel and looks to screen with fearful love to hear a fluttered black and white heart beating back. And a free and fearless man sets sail with faithful friend he made from soft clay of his scraped knee, skipped roped, squelch and sodden schoolboy soil. He's filled with life, ballooned and plump, with all the people of this daft and gorgeous world. The intravenous opioid relief of drowsy sleep in godly serotonin skies. A feeling he lives in this world, not on it. And a deepest love for all imperfect crazy souls that are its dwelling bird nest guest. Watchful, patient time it slows and slows and ceases to exist. And once time is gone, then so is he. A universal speck of dust that matters more than he could ever know. It has been a quiet life. A life like so many others. It has been a remarkable life. A life like every other.